what did Russ want out of this, and did he get what he wanted out of this? He dominated headlines. It got a lot of attention for it. I don't want to overstate what he did. He didn't ask to be traded. He expressed his frustration. I think that's a pretty safe and conservative way. Did he try? Is he trying to shame the Seahawks into doing something he wants? Which, hey, all the power to him. He should use every power within. If that's what he wants and he thinks he's right, he should use and feels that I need to use every bit of publicity and leverage that I have to try to get them. If so, then we're about to see whether that was successful or not. Does it change the way Seattle approaches things? Was it to put on record, basically to say, here are my objections? So if he does ask for a trade a year from now, it's not like it's coming out of the blue. It's like, hey, I told you guys these are issues. I told you guys that I was unhappy with this, and you didn't fix it in the past 12 months, and now I am actually ready. Was it sort of stating for the record, here are my problems? Here's the other thing. Did he not get what he wanted out of this? Did he essentially overplay his hand? Was he hoping for more of a reaction from the franchise and maybe even some changes in organizational structure, and he overplayed his hand? He didn't have the clout to make that happen because Seattle just left him in timeout the whole time. It's like, okay, say what you want. We're just not gonna engage. And by the way, all the teams that call us about you, we're just gonna listen to what they have to say, but we're not gonna actually work toward getting a trade because that's not something we're doing.
He might have overplayed his hand. Might. But I can't go all in with that because technically we haven't seen the results of his play yet. Free agency is just about to start. I mean, the tampering window has just opened within the last 10 minutes. So I think until we see some perhaps results from the Seahawks, we won't really know the answer to that. So also with that in mind, I think Russ has to be smart enough to realize that no matter what he tries to get out there, that there's only so much that the Seahawks are going to do. Because there's only so much that other teams are going to do. Now, maybe he's just so rationally confident and has such, I don't want to use the word narcissism, but maybe he has a mindset that, yeah, this is just going to be done my way because of how good I am. But there's a part of me that I feel like it's going into this past season, he was beating this drum. Hey, man, do you guys realize I've never gotten an MVP vote before? The season starts off where he looks like an MVP. The season progresses and he hits a wall, and then he face plants against the wall at the end of the year. And I think he wants people to still put him in that conversation as one of the best quarterbacks. And maybe it's him shifting blame from himself and pointing at the rest of the team and saying, I tried, but, for me to be the best quarterback, this team needs to do more things my way. I think there is an element of that in it. It's annoying if that's the case definitively, and if that's something that's going through Russell's head, but I don't know. I don't see how you can deny that that's a part of what's going on right now.
Yeah, I would say it's more than annoying, like it's concerning. Is that how players deal with failure in a collective team sport? Is that how you want your leader to deal with it?
That's how this one does, it seems.
Other guys have too. They just haven't expressed it as publicly, right? I mean, Aaron Rodgers, I think, in his own way, kind of sighed and hemmed and hawed, and he was displeased. Now, they drafted his successor, which certainly compounds it. Deshaun Watson's kind of doing that. I think we all understand Watson's more because of the environment he's in, and he's got a coach that was the de facto GM that traded one of the best wide receivers in the league for a running back that was just asked to take a pay cut, and they won, 5 games last year? Like, we understand that more, but he just took an extension too.
And also, Watson technically hasn't said anything. I mean, Mark Rodgers saying that Russell Wilson doesn't want to trade, but if he wanted to trade, these are the 4 teams he'd go to. That is more than anything Deshaun Watson has done. There's been an understanding, a general common understanding, that the Texans situation is so bad, of course Deshaun Watson wants out.
See, and that's the part where Deshaun's been much more not outspoken, but adamant about wanting a trade. And whether it's done through a veil and it's a leaked report, or whether it's his agent saying something, these are things the players want, right? Like, I don't believe for a second that any of this over the past month with Russell Wilson is a media creation. That's Russell's unhappiness coming out. And that unhappiness has been expressed in a variety of ways, including a couple of interviews where he didn't come out and say anything that was, I don't want to be there, but said he was frustrated at getting hit so much. And Deshaun Watson, he doesn't want to be in Houston. Like, at this point, he does not want to be in Houston. He is more adamant about that than Russ is.
And he doesn't have to do anything because everyone is on his side, right? I mean, everyone's like, wow, Houston, joke. Even in Houston. Here, I mean, it's a little bit of a more of a split as far as, oh, are the Seahawks, should they bend over backwards to make Russell happy? No, I would say nationally it's a different story entirely. But, yeah, I think that Russ actually being open has maybe led to some reaction that he didn't